Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome to Quests and Chaos. My name is Alondra Heilman, aka Lady Bedivere. It is spooky season, and tonight we are kicking off our mystery in Vaesen, a Nordic folk horror game published by Free League. It's very fun. Last week, if you tuned in, you got to hear a little bit about the world of Vaesen and the mechanics involved, and got to see us finish building out our characters and creating some relationships. And tonight, we are going to delve into our mystery. But, as always, we must start with some business. If we reach 100% of our tavern upkeep in October, we will give away the Tales of the Valiant starter set that we have been trying to give away since June. If we reach 125%, more cool things will happen, but you have to get us there to find out what. I will say I now have an extra copy of the Vaesen GM screen.
Wait.
So that might become a fun potential prize. And I have promised that if we get to 150% of our tavern upkeep in October, we will raffle off a custom one-shot run by me for you and some of your friends. Or your enemies, depending on how you feel about my GMing style. The Book of Inspiration is back at the end of every session. Any unused bits are going to be banked into the boy. And when 25 of them accumulate, it will trigger a giveaway of probably a TTRPG book or starter set. There are currently 11 in the boy. I'm guessing there were none in After
There was
GDS.
one that
There
went
are
after
12 in the boy. No, there are 11 in the boy. There were 10 last time.
Yeah.
So there were 11 as of GDS on Saturday. I am currently making these announcements live on Twitch, but you're probably watching this later on YouTube or listening to this in your podcast feed. If you are in the future hearing this, please consider liking the video and leaving us a comment or leaving us a rating if you're listening to a podcast. It really, really helps us build our audience and get in front of more people. And as I've been talking about all of these bits, you might be going, what are you talking about? Bits are a thing that you do on Twitch to tip your storytellers. You can contribute bits to us, even if you're not watching us live, by joining our Patreon, which is in fact the best way to support us. We get the biggest cut from it. Every tier of our Patreon allows you a certain number of cards, coins, whatever term we use, that we will distribute to the show or shows of your choice at the beginning of the month. You also get access to fun things like our After Darks, a thing that we're doing tonight that you'll have to go to YouTube as a patron to find, because this one's behind the paywall.
Now, I usually do haikus but maybe I'll come up with something else.
Yeah, Dane sometimes writes wonderful poetry. I get extremely analytical about stupid nerd things. You can make requests and ask questions too. Lastly, just my personal appeal / reminder, because it's October and I have the chair. If you like the stuff that we're doing, or you have suggestions for other stuff that we should try doing, whether that's game systems, board games, stuff that we did in Starter Set Summer School that you want to see more of, please post that in a comment somewhere on our socials or under the YouTube videos. It really helps us figure out what we're going to program in next year, because we've got a lot of ideas and we want to know what your ideas are too. We love our Discord community. It's amazing. Join it if you haven't, but it is also a closed door. So the more that you can talk about us on socials and leave us comments on our socials, the easier it is for everybody else to join that conversation and chime in. Almost done. Our tavern upkeep is at 55%. I didn't update my own notes. I did a bad job prepping. Tavern upkeep is at 55%. We have 11 coins in the boy. These were the coins that were distributed us from patrons for their monthly allotments. We went over these last week, but there's some new ones. But tonight is the night that I get to throw actual physical bits at people. So don't worry, I don't aim for cups. That's a different horror GM on this campaign. I know that the dog's been in the studio, so I'm not aiming for beverages. Bits for the floor god will be in effect. First, we have 3 coins from Cheesecake Fries for me.
Of course.
Come on.
Was for the GM.
It's a horror game. What would it be without extra horror?
Then we have 2 coins from Red Dead Coquette. One for you and one for me.
Delicious.
I still have a Red Dead character in my dossier from the.
Ooh. Then we have 2 coins from our lovely Pooja. Pooja said that I could distribute them as I saw fit, so 1 for you and 1 for me.
That's very egalitarian of you.
I never remember to use mine. It's not because I'm not trying to. It's
okay.
because I forget why I have this annoying stack of
I'll
things.
remind you.
Excellent. Then we have 3
Don't use the bit on that. No.
3 coins from Duke Fleeg for our player.
Thank you, Your Grace.
It is huzzah.
Hey,
Back up to you.
you're good at throwing these.
Yeah, great job.
Years
Very
of
good.
practice. And then we have 2 coins from Lee, also for the player.
Thank you, Lee.
Us go.
Oh, floor bit.
Floor.
No, it's apple crate
Oh,
bit.
crate bit!
Great bit. That's a rare bit.
Very elusive.
So, because this is not a D&D system, and it is not Call of Cthulhu, what I have decided these are going to function as, I don't want to take away from the joy of pushing the roll, and what that does, where high risk, high reward. So what I'm going to say is that a bit allows you to re-roll 1 die in your pool. So you may roll your dice, you may see it, and then if you want to like try to re-roll your lowest one to see if you can get a success or something, that's fine. Or, re-roll your high one to see if it's a charge. 6s are the only number that matter. You just need more 6s. So one bit is a re-roll of 1 die in your pool. This also ups the stakes to make it even more valuable for you to get them as many bits as possible, because if you've got a pool of 7 and you get no successes, they can only spend
Like I did.
so many bits. Yes.
Are you open to negotiations?
I am always open to the offering of a deal.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Don't make a deal with the Fae.
Well, hey,
I'm not the Fae. I'm the devil.
No,
she has
I'm
great.
the Fae.
True.
She's the fiend, I'm the Fae.
Whatever the case,
Yes.
the biscuits
Writing
are
that
delicious,
down.
and I ate a whole plate of them.
Andy told me his full government name.
Yeah, wow.
The secret spelling.
Okay.
He likes to live dangerously.
No, I am always down for negotiation. This game is specifically it is very much about telling the story. I'm also going to always strongly encourage you guys, anytime you come up with something that involves a role or a challenge, think of how your character would approach it. Tell me what you're going to attempt to do. Roll, see if you succeed, see where your successes are at, and then describe what that looks like. I'm gonna do a lot of the okay, so you only got 1 success, but you needed 2. So what happens? I always want to play that game. And also just nothing is worse than describing your really cool move and then not being able to do it and have to backpedal. So set the scene and then tell me how you succeed or fail once we have resolved the dice. I just think it's beautiful and fun in that way. Speaking of beautiful and fun,
Dane.
now it's time for my stupid opening monologue.
Yay!
In the cold and dark of the Mythic North, the nights are warmed with stories and song. But in what might seem simple pleasantries to fill the long hours between the gloaming and the dawn, there are secrets. For even as sagas of strange creatures bring mirth and frights, fears and merriments to the hearths and hearts of all, they also weave their warnings. Ring the church bells and carry a cross. Bury the bodies or burn the bones. Offer a gift, but only if you mean it. Sprinkle holy water and keep your silver and iron close. All the things to do to protect yourself from the unseen, the Vaesen that live in the shadows just beyond knowledge. Mother's tales, to make sure the young behave. Or old yarns spun by the travelers, the drunkards, and the oddities to win a little goodwill and perhaps even a little favor. But every story carries a whisper of truth. For they say that there are some with the sight, some who can see that which mere mortals cannot, some who know the secrets of the world, and keep the songs sung and the tales told because they are warnings. The world may not always believe in the Thursday's children, but that is of no mind, for the Thursday's children can see that there is so much more in the world. We open in Uppsala, a grand city caught in a world of the old and the new. Ancient buildings side by side with the new industry that has begun to permeate this place. And we have, in this city, 4 unique individuals. Well, 3 of them are in the city. One of them begrudgingly comes here more often now that they have connected with others who understand what lives in the shadows and just out of the corner of your periphery. You have a sort of makeshift meeting ground here and there. Sometimes it's at the doctor's house, taking advantage of his sparse dining room and cozy but cramped basement. Sometimes it's at the bakery, where the bakers know that some of you have a predilection for those foreign French layered pastries that they try so hard to replicate. And there's a little more elbow room if the weather's good. But there's also a third place, a place that probably no one really likes going, but sometimes you get that little tingle in the back of your neck that you need to stop by. This, you wonder if it's a side effect of the site, or if it's simply that same prickling that you would get as a child if you knew you were out past curfew and your mother was going to come looking for you if you didn't get home. That place is the old asylum. Now, asylum conjures horrible visions of screaming patients, locked doors, rattling chains. This is not that kind of asylum. If anything, this is more of almost a convent outside of the world of the church. There's a convent, too, attached to the church if you need spiritual guidance. The asylum is guidance of a different sort, at least for the 4 of you. For the asylum is where Linnea has set up camp. Linnea is a peculiar individual. She is of indeterminate age other than old. Very, very old. She stands about 4 or 5, maybe on a good day. Always has her hair covered in wild eyes that seem to see even more than all of you do. Linnea was a member of the Society for many, many years, until it collapsed about a decade ago. And since then, whatever horrors she has seen in her lifetime have overwhelmed her, and she has decided the asylum is the safest place for her to be. Whether that is for her or for the rest of you remains to be seen. But she does wander out occasionally. You've run into her out on the streets. Sometimes she just appears seemingly out of nowhere to give you some words of arcane wisdom, like, "Don't forget, 2 left socks tomorrow," and then wanders off without an explanation. But on this...
Joke's on her. You only have left socks.
But on this particular day, you all have that little twinge. It's been a while since you've seen Linnea pop up anywhere else, and you all sort of get the sense that maybe you should go check in on her, see what she's up to, because if you don't go check in on her, she will appear to check in on you, and it's always nice when you can control the narrative a little bit. So
I'm sorry, did you say that the asylum was a working asylum or not?
yes, it is a working asylum.
Okay.
Yes. Let's do a little bit of a brief reintroduction of each of your characters for anyone who's tuning in for the first time as you make your way to the asylum. This will be our first scene, is gathering at the asylum. And let's start, as you so adeptly
yes.
kind of suspected.
Sure.
Let us start with our doctor.
Yes, I am Dr. Victor Coriander. I practice, you could say, in the city. My coat is a bit threadbare, and my leather satchel is well worn. And I tend to not take money for my services when I can, of course. But oftentimes it seems people are unable to. So I try and do my best and help where I can. I have a sickly pallor, deep bags under my eyes, a thinnish face from malnutrition. And I, coming into the asylum, as ever, when coming here, I look as if I'm about to vomit.
In fairness, that's just kind of your expression a lot of the
Yes,
time.
but this one,
Is it
like-
vomit or bolt?
Like, the grayness has turned green. Like, the grayish has turned more greenish. Yes, probably eyes darting around a lot more than usual.
Yes. Yeah, you pop in. You are unfortunately a more frequent visitor here because of your doctorly duties. You're occasionally called upon to
yes.
minister to the patients here. You recognize the young nurse who is sort of kind of functioning as a sort of like, receptionist, if you will. She's sort of in the front area, overseeing some things. It looks like she's handling some paperwork and has stepped out to watch for incoming visitors and help kind of shuttle people around. Her name is Mara.
Mara?
She is very young, but very, very good at her job. Seems to take a lot of special attention and care to this. And she just sees you and is just like, "Oh, hello, doctor.
Yes.
I believe she's in the sunroom. She said you'd be coming by. You're here for Miss Elfclint, yes? She's Linnea.
Yeah, yes.
Elfclint.
Elfclint. Miss, yeah.
Yes, in the sunroom. Would you like me to walk you there?
No, I can find my way.
All right. Very good then. I'm sure the others will probably be here soon. She seemed very insistent that you would all be coming. There will be tea served for you. Here. She walks over, reaches into like a pocket on her sort of apron that she's wearing, and just very gently hands you a couple of little peppermint candies, and just kind of nods knowingly and goes back to her
absentmindedly
paperwork.
put them in my pocket. And the patient I saw last week, are they doing any better?
No, yes, seems to be doing quite well. No more screaming fits. I don't think they're sleeping through the night yet, but we weren't expecting that. The herbal remedy you provided seems to be helping
Wonderful.
calm them.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
You're welcome to wait here for everyone else if you like, or you can get to sunroom, whatever you prefer.
I go off.
Yeah. Very,
hurriedly.
yes.
He is anxiety embodied.
Who do we think arrives next? Any particular sense?
I think Richard would show up pretty early.
Right. Reintroduce us to Richard and then tell us how you arrived.
So in walking is Richard Douglas, a younger American who is traveling there. Clothes are pretty much the same, kind of, he has about 4 or 5 of similar looking suits that he wears because he wants to look professional for everybody. And he comes in with his bag and his notebook, of course, and his writing utensils. And he just goes up to Mara like, "Hello, so I was supposed to believe..."
Yes, for Miss Elfclint?
Yes.
Yes, wonderful. It's just in the sunroom. Have you been here before?
Yeah, once or twice.
Here, why don't I walk you in?
Yeah, of course.
Right this way. If you and she kind of just points little things out to you.
Yeah, last time I was given candy.
Yes, oh yes, no, it helps with the stomach. People get so squeamish around here. Hands you a couple of peppermints, smiles. She
Went in immediately.
Yeah, she remembers that you're a writer, and so she kind of takes you and goes, actually, let's I think we've got a few moments. Let's take the long way around. I'll show you some of the architecture. And she takes you around a slightly looped around way so that she can show you these beautiful Gothic stained window that was transplanted here from another old building. Tells you a little bit of the history of this. Always she's got one of those little a little watch that's kind of on the brooch so that she can quickly glance. She keeps kind of glancing at, but she spends a few extra minutes sort of showing you this, pointing out some of the little architectural details from when this building may have been something else in the past. No one's quite sure what. This is the story of a lot of these older buildings in Uppsala. It was something until it wasn't, and now we know that it was, but we don't know what. But she takes you back around until you finally reach the sunroom and you see a very, very anxious doctor sitting
Richard,
awkwardly at a table.
And would there be, no offense, but coffee any chance?
I know that there will be tea brought. I'll check and see if we've got coffee as well.
Yes, please.
Of course.
hello.
Of course.
Americans and coffee.
It's quite delicious. I don't know if you should have any, but
No.
we can slowly
My
introduce
stomach.
you to it.
Yes.
Yeah. I know, especially around here.
You settle in at this table. The sunroom is a one of these larger rooms. It is set up for both kind of like tea tables and activities. Currently, you are the only people in here. It doesn't look like anyone else is currently utilizing this space. Big windows facing south to let in some semblance of light, depending on the time of year. Today is a reasonably uncloudy day, but it does have that natural chill in the air as the fall approaches. Who's next?
I think Signy shows up, not in any sort of hurry. They're not fond of being here, but they know the call when it comes. Signy is a borrowing Alondra's description of her character, a scrungly young person, blonde hair. Could be of an older-looking 15-year-old or a young-looking 18-year-old. Hard to tell. Wears a cap jammed down over their head. Pronouns are make a noise in their direction and see if they turn around.
Yeah. Oversized hat, oversized clothes. You're not sure if the clothes are oversized intentionally or if this figure is just so scrawny that nothing fits them correctly.
Yeah.
Could be either one.
And they wear layers of varying colors and textures of clothing of just whatever they've picked up to stay warm, because they tend to be out on the streets quite a lot. And in this growing weather, that's always dangerous. They're generally kind of allergic to front doors, but they do know that Mara gives candy if they come through the front door properly.
Mara has 2 jobs, and one of them is giving candy to visitors. You think the other one might secretly be running this place, but unclear.
Yeah, she's nice to me when I show up. So or in general, so kind of like stick my head in. Hello.
You see she is just kind of coming back in, and she just waves. She's like, "Oh, hello! You must be here to join the others."
Who else is here?
The doctor and the writer.
Oh, of course.
I didn't really expect to see your other friend until the absolute 11th hour.
Yeah, Soren, I'm allergic to front doors. They're allergic to buildings.
That is my understanding. I mean, to be fair, there's a very high dust quotient, so if you're used to being out in the open air, I could see why it would, in fact, be uncomfortable. Oh, you meant that metaphorically. Okay.
You hear a large sneeze from
Might be literal. I've never checked.
They're in the sunroom. Do you want me to walk you, or would you like to go on your own?
Oh, if you wouldn't mind.
Yes, of course. Reaches into the pocket, hands you the requisite peppermints.
Because I have been known to go through the window before, and it was made very clear that if I went through the window, I did not get candy.
She does take you on the slightly more shorter and more direct route, because that feels more like your vibe of just get in and get out as quickly as possible. She does point out that the side hall door that leads down to the kitchens, which then has a back door, she just casually points out that they've had some work done and the hinges are now oiled, so it doesn't stick so much anymore.
Oh, I'm sure that's great for not that horrible squeaking sound going away.
Yes, no, it's it's less good for keeping track of where our patients are. But if you need to make a quick getaway through the kitchen, it's much more efficient. She just keeps going. Very
She's
casual.
got all of our numbers.
She does work in an asylum. She's very good at reading people. But she ushers you in, you see your 2 compatriots, and you're able to settle at the table, on the table, under the table, whatever your particular...
kind of perched in a chair.
Yeah, sitting on the back of the chair or on the windowsill nearest to the table.
Windowsill, I think, is much more their vibe.
Yeah, again, a quick getaway, just in case.
Yep.
And finally...
Yeah, I'm playing Soren Alfson, who uses she, they, and he pronouns. They're not scrungly. They're more
Rugged?
Rugged is a great word. Thank you. I was like, what is the word? It starts with an R. They're more rugged. She's got really long, dark hair, lots of layers of clothing in browns and muted colors, scars on his face, and they are, they've got like a really big, what did we decide it was? Not a rifle.
Oh, a flintlock.
Flintlock.
Yeah, we decided.
Musket.
Flintlock. Musket. That's what
Yeah,
it's
big ol'
called.
flintlock
A musket.
Yeah.
Musket.
A musket, and I think Soren arrives when Mara is not there, and just sort of like wanders around the lobby for a little bit, and Mara stands at like a desk.
It's more of a table that has a couple of sets of drawers kind of shoved underneath it. So it's been dressed up to look nice enough for like receiving people, but it is clearly things that have been kind of cobbled together to serve this purpose.
Sure.
There is some paperwork, some writing utensils kind of scattered along the top.
I think more than anything, Soren is allergic to time. So just kind of, especially indoors, it's hard to tell time. So they kind of tootle around. They'll sit at the desk. Hello? Hello? Just like testing the echo in the room.
Yeah.
You hear a large sneeze from down the hall.
Hello?
You're there for a few minutes before Mara sort of reappears and goes, I was hoping you might have arrived. Come, the others are in the sunroom. Unless you'd like to go on your own.
They just shrug.
She sort of just like cheerily kind of waves you on.
I'll follow.
Leads you down to the sunroom. As you walk by, she kind of gives you a look and goes, pulls out, gives you a slightly larger handful of the peppermints than usual. And reaches like almost in that like automatic way, like goes like she's gonna like pat you on the shoulder or something, and then catches herself and just goes, anyway, I'm sure Mrs. Elfclint will be here very, very shortly now that you're all. And as she's saying this, and you're both still in the doorway, suddenly you are like pushed to the sides as this tiny little like fully solid, very short, ancient woman that you all know as Linnea Elfclint just sort of like bustles her way into the sunroom. Yes, good. Everyone's here. Everyone, come sit down. Mara, would you bring the tea, please? Mara just sort of like gives you that look and the nod. There's a, I'll be right back. Disappears again. Linnea just shuffles straight up to the table, hoists herself into a chair, which sort of makes her seem like she might be normal height, and reaches into the strange robe that she's always wearing, pulls out a slightly crumpled letter, and just boom on the table with it, and looks at all of you.
I would like to open a window.
Yeah, you can walk over. Signe is sitting in one like windowsill. There's another one next to it. Again, this is the sunroom. So this is the room that has just a bunch of windows next to each other all on walls.
Is there sun in the sunroom right now?
Yes, there is some sun in the sunroom. You realize it's probably warmer in here than it is outside because you've got sun coming through glass. You've got a little bit of that extra insulation. It is a day that looks colder than it is because it always looks cold here. But you can open a window, get a little bit of breeze and a little bit of sun.
So there's a letter.
Yes, this is why I brought you, because I knew you'd understand what was going on.
What's it say?
But that's for you to find out. It's obviously for you.
I can't read.
Okay, well, maybe not for you then.
I guess I can take the letter.
She slides it across the table to you. This requires her to, like, stand up on, like, the rung of her chair to get it all the way over
Crawls
to
across
you.
the whole table.
I gotta. Sorry, before I get into reading this massive letter, I was gonna give you the handout, and then I went, "This is illegible. I'm just gonna read it." Unfortunately, but let me give you. At least you able this visual of Linnea.
Exactly what I pictured.
Yeah,
So much.
She is
just
exactly what I. The sweet little babushka.
yeah, tiny
babushka.
little babushka, little shawl, lots of religious iconography, perpetually just crazy eyes.
While you're looking at the letter, I'm going to look at Soren and be like, how did you know? Why were you here? You said you knew?
She has a letter on the table. She slammed her hand very loud on the table.
She said you knew.
There was paper.
Yeah,
We always know when she wants us.
yeah, that's fair, but
You are
why?
here.
I just.
You know. You are here.
Never mind.
And Signy's head is back and forth like watching a tennis match.
The paper on the table.
She said you knew, and I wanted to know how you knew, and it's fine.
Do you not all know? Everyone should know.
What? No, what?
If we don't, we will very soon.
Exactly. You actually, do you want to read
I
this
can.
letter aloud?
Sure.
Yes.
Tell me where.
Letter.
It's gonna be
Letter.
this whole
Letter.
Okay. Just to give everyone a break from listening to my
And a wave.
voice like you will for the rest of All right.
And Richard opens in it. To whom it may concern,
That's us.
Apparently.
my name is Oscar Udgren. I think I pronounced that correctly.
Udgrin.
Priest in the fishing village of. Need help again with the pronunciation.
Fjallbacka.
Fjallbacka. It is with a heavy heart that I write these lines. I am at wit's end with my current predicament, and so I turn to you. I met with members of your exalted order during my studies in Uppsala a few years ago, and now I place my hope in your particular talents and expertise. My best friend and mentor, Vicar Carl Eric Hedquist, is dead. His body was found a few weeks ago, washed up on a beach in the Fjallbacka archipelago. The coroner has identified the cause of death as a self-inflicted gunshot to the head and written it off as a suicide. I refuse to accept this conclusion, certain that there is something unnatural afoot, and I know who is responsible. What I lack is proof and the means to do something about it. I saw Carl Eric alive 1 week before he was found dead. He was once again heading out to the Wrecker Isle in the archipelago to bring the word of God to the depraved seafarers frequenting the inn on the island. Wrecker Isle is a hub for maritime traffic and the site of the largest herring saltery in the archipelago. Some days the sea lane is so clogged with boats and ships that people can walk across them halfway to Fjallbacka. Wrecker Isle, thank you. Wrecker Isle reeks with herring and sin, a godless stain on this earth.
Sounds like a great place to visit.
The proprietor of this den of thieves, Herring Bon Vicarius Amundsen.
Zacharias Amundsen.
Yes, Zacharias Amundsen and his mother, Abella, whom the locals call the Godmother, are openly defying the teachings of our Lord and have thrown out the good vicar every time he's visited Wrecker Isle. I am convinced that the Herring Baron and the Godmother, along with the Zacharias' feeble-minded but dangerous older brothers, Paul, Pete, and Pace, are doing the devil's bidding and are to blame for Carl Eric's untimely death. I shall go to Wrecker Isle to find proof of their guilt and face these henchmen of Satan face to face. I require your assistance in this perilous endeavor. If you cherish your God and wish to help his humble servant in this time of greatest need, meet me at Fjallbacka at your earliest convenience. With highest regards, Oscar Erdgren.
Oh dear.
So you see,
A man killed himself?
I think
Were you
we
not
are
listening to
meaning
the same
go
letter
the
as me?
island to help out Eric. Would we need to fight these ne'er-do-wells?
I wouldn't.
I will never condone violence unless violence is necessary. In which case, yes, you should fight them. That is generally how it is done.
Well, if somebody needs help, I think we're in the best means, if Linnea believes it, to help him.
Ulgrin wrote to us because he knows of our society. Surely he would not have written to us if he did not believe something was more than it seems.
The man didn't kill himself.
He doesn't believe so.
But he's blaming
Other humans.
very specific people.
A Vaesen?
How do we know that what he says is true?
We don't. That's why you must go to Filbaka and find out.
Is he trustworthy?
I don't know. I've never met him.
Oh.
I just get the society's mail. There's nobody left who checks the mailbox.
Oh.
I suppose you'd be able to know if you met him?
No, I'm not very good with people.
Oh, well, then, Richard, you'd be able to know if we can trust him if you met him?
I mean, I'd certainly like to believe so. I do also think that if there has been a crime committed and this man is going to go into a lion's den, so to speak, and we're the only ones who seemingly know about it, we should help him. At the very least,
World question.
Yes.
What is the general law enforcement of the time and place? Like, would it be reasonable to be like, why didn't you go to the sheriff if you thought that, or equivalent if you thought that a human killed him?
It depends on where you are.
Mm-hmm.
You are in a major city, Uppsala, where there is probably some semblance. We don't really have what we in the modern day would consider police forces, but there is probably some sort of kind of city guard or militia that helps keep the peace. There may be elected officials who, serve as something like a meister or a sheriff of some sort that would help with that sort of thing. Fjällbacka is on the coast, on the other side of the continent. It is a much more remote area, and in what he is speaking about, the Fjällbacka archipelago and the islands thereof are going to be even more remote. You wouldn't necessarily know explicitly, I don't think any of you would explicitly know anything about Wrecker Isle, but you would be familiar with a lot of these little island groupings where, fisheries or certain kinds of farming are set up that kind of run themselves at a certain point, and some of them become really helpful communities that are working together, and some of them become, mob rule, and some of them are ruled by whoever gets there first, gets there richest, gets there longest.
The herring baron.
There does seem to be an implication from here that this herring baron and the godmother may be figures of some sort of authority, and if they are the ones whom Oscar Udgren does not trust,
Sure.
then it would be very difficult to go to the authorities if the authorities are themselves the thugs.
Well, if he's writing to us, and there's a force that is causing someone to kill themselves, then that seems to be our purview, to go and find out what has driven this man to do this thing. Or else, why would he be reaching out to us?
I wholeheartedly agree. I think we should definitely go.
I'm not doing anything.
Shh, don't look at me.
Can't imagine the town has
Why
very
not?
adequate medical.
Should I not look at you?
It's a figure of speech. I'm not a decision-making person.
Oh.
I mean, I guess I am. I'm one of...
There is no decision to be made. You're going.
We're going.
It's foregone conclusion. We
Yeah,
will
when
go.
Linnea says it, yep.
She just looks at all of you very confused as to why this seems to be a question. She has shown you the letter. Clearly, you must go.
Do we know what the society is? Like, is this something that she's talked about before?
You have gotten bits and snatches about the society from her. It's always a little vague. It's always a little piecemeal. You know that there was an organization called the Society that existed for a very long time that was comprised of Thursday's children. Was comprised entirely of those who have the sight, who desired to continue to study the Vaesen, to research the Vaesen, and to combat the more dangerous Vaesen or the Vaesen who are seeking to cause harm. You know that about a decade ago, I think it was, the society dissolved. You have heard something about giants and trolls being involved with that dissolution. You also have heard something about a schism in the society and like a disagreement that caused a split to where one subgrouping of the society split off and formed their own thing. You don't really know a whole lot about that other than it's one of those ones that Linnea goes, and then, like kind of spits on their graves and moves on, doesn't really talk about them. So you know there was, and that seems to have happened before the giants and trolls thing, whatever that's about. That's about where you're at with this information.
Okay.
I think Richard might have been the only one who might have like prodded at that a little more, that natural storyteller instinct. But anyone else who might have too would have found that if you poke at it, if Linnea brings it up and you listen, you can usually glean some semblance of weird information. If you poke it too hard when it comes up, though, it is very often that she will either just like leave or kind of like internalize in a weird way, and you see that little element of the like whatever she has been through and whatever it has done to her brain has done things to her brain. So it's hard to prompt her to talk about it. It's more just something that randomly comes up on occasion. The one piece that I think Richard and Signe specifically would have put together, and possibly the others do as well, I will let you decide if your character has kind of figured this out, is that you do know that the old haunted castle, the one that you tried to prank Richard with, whatever, used to be the Society's headquarters.
Oh, yeah.
Before it was abandoned. And you probably specifically have seen Linnea like go up there and possibly even go all the way into the building before. A thing that nobody else does.
She came out?
Yes.
I think I've been on the grounds when that happened a couple of
Like
times.
you saw her come out and you were like, ooh. Yeah. Because everybody else just straight up like makes up all kinds of stories about it. But nobody, even on like the triple dog dare, even the kids won't go all the way up to the porch. They'll skirt around the edges, they'll jump the fence, but they don't like, there's something in there and nobody actually wants to find out what. Something besides Linnea, I should say. That would be scary enough in and of itself.
For most people, that's quite enough.
I mean, I want to go in. You know.
That's for later.
Yeah.
So yeah, you would know about this, and you would. I have to double check the language of this. Yeah, you're not sure you're not sure if this priest who has written to you, Oscar Udgren, you're not sure, because he says he met some of your order in his studies, but he doesn't explicitly name the society. So he may have met other Thursday's children, but you're not sure if he actually met them during the time when the society was still active, or if he just met others who he knows of being involved with this particular mysterious side of the world.
Yeah, but he sent the letter to the society's post box. So that makes me at least think that he knew about enough to send a letter there.
He knew somebody who knew that as a safe address.
Yeah.
Linnea,
Yes.
do you perhaps have any inkling as to what type of entity we may be encountering?
That's not my job. That's your job. That's why you have to go.
No, but just if any feelings you may have. No? Okay.
The only feeling I've got is that it's probably going to rain tonight. So
Okay.
you should consider either leaving late this evening, but not too late, or first thing in the morning. It's the left knee. It always tells me when it's going to rain. But perhaps you would make use of this. And
Love
she's
a
going to
good
hand
codex.
you a book. This is the Codex Occultum.
Oh.
She pulls this out of her mystery robes and shawls and goes, "This was a book that was very useful in the youth and golden heyday of the society. It's where we recorded all of our notes about the creatures that live in the world.
Oh,
Take care of it."
I've heard of ghosts. Nope.
Take care of it. Yeet.
Imagine all of us is like, oh god.
She tosses it at you. Ours is very slick and shiny. Pretend it's a leather-bound notebook with a lot of handwritten notes and sketches. But yes, this is the Codex Occultum. This is the book
Favorite
of
book.
this is
Favorite book.
the player-safe book of Vaesen as recorded by the Society, which you can pass around and use to ignore me when I'm doing long, boring monologues.
Stop that.
So,
Wise one.
yes.
This Oscar,
Yes.
he fears God. Is he?
He's a priest. I would hope he would fear God. If he
Do
doesn't
you
fear God, he's a priest.
trust him? Do you know him?
I do not know him. I know that he wrote to us for help.
Yes, I see. I will take what he says with salt
Two possibilities.
and herring.
He tells the truth, or he does not.
Indeed. Interesting, no?
Yes, indeed.
I think we should go. If we could go, should we go? I think we should go.
I think we can leave tonight.
Doctor, you look
I'm fine.
green.
Nope.
As you are sort of looking at this book and like looking at each other and trying to figure out what is going on, this is about the point when Mara appears with a large tray and kind of clocks the tenor of the room and looks and goes, like kind of catches your attention behind Linnea, is just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She comes forward. You see that she has one pot of hot water and then 5 teacups that seem to have like individual little like. She's sort of made like little tea bags out of like a sort of tea or whatever, and so she's just coffee, chamomile and peppermint,
Thank you. Oh,
black, also black, and then from there, and your special blend. And then she pours out hot water into everybody's from the little teapot.
Thank you.
Sets it down, kind of looks at you all. Linnea is giving her the like, one big eye, one twitch, and she just, I'll leave you alone now, and just like kind of like disappears in that nurse-like way of just like, she might still be in the room, but nobody knows where she is now. So.
I reach into my pocket and I pull out not the fresh peppermint, but like obviously a peppermint that has been in my pocket for way too long, and I plop it in my tea and kind of absentmindedly stir it in.
Yeah, there's just like a little bit of lint.
Just a little bit of lint.
I think I found the truth. I cleared, so safety tools are an effect, it's a horror game. I cleared some things with them before camera. I didn't realize linty peppermints was
all
one
right.
of them.
Linty tea. Weird.
Stuff. We like those visceral responses. Happy spooky season.
Soren will take out of one of their pouches a like leather wrapped bundle and give it to Linnea.
Linnea will look and do her thing where she like full body like lunges across the table to grab it and slides it.
It's like some bones and some herbs and just a bundle of stuff she can't get here.
She opens it up, and you see she just kind of like whispers into the pouch for a couple of seconds, and then folds it up and like nods, and just it disappears under the shawls.
So we go to.
You have a very long journey ahead of you, so pack accordingly, but pack light, and don't forget to send your mail to me. I will keep it safe for you.
Easy enough.
I don't get mail.
Everybody just kind of, what?
Forward your mail? What?
Sure.
Do we know of any person that like to make it look like suicide? Do we know of anything like that? I will look at the codex.
Oh, a Vaesen who causes people to kill themselves.
Vaesen.
Yeah. You can take some time this evening. You're going to have to arrange some travel. You can gather up, for those of you that have things to pack, you can pack them. I assume Signy probably has most of what they need on their person.
The very little that isn't turns into a hobo knapsack.
Yeah.
Because this is... Sorry.
No. You're good. We'll talk about it in the after dark.
Yep. Okay, cool.
Because I have a lot of thoughts on it too.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Dissemble, yeah.
Yeah. So, we're going to kind of close this scene unless there's anything else specific you want to ask Linnea, and we're going to do a little.
I don't think I want to ask
Left
Linnea, but I do ask Mara how she is.
Sure. How Mara
That's
is
it.
or how Linnea is?
No.
No, how Mara.
No.
Saying this is like-
How. I haven't named her yet, but
Oh, how she is. Yes, I'm sorry,
how
you're right.
she is.
Yes.
But we don't have to.
No,
put it
that's
out,
fine.
But
As you're wrapping up and leaving, you can kind of pull her to the side, and she will say, "As usual."
no changes.
No, not really. But may not be better, but at least not worse.
Thank you.
Of course. I'll make sure to look in on her extra while you're gone.
And I'll walk away.
Yeah.
I'm going to disappear out the door that was pointed out to me, pausing just long enough to see if the cook that I made friends with left anything out for me.
Nothing today. Looks like she was not anticipating you.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you all are able to gather your things.
Can I have taken the codex?
Unless somebody else is going to fight you for
Is
it.
that okay with
No,
everybody?
take it.
As long as I can read it during their travels.
We have a long way to go,
Oh,
apparently.
yeah, definitely.
Is any one of you in particular taking point? We're going to do a little bit of a prep montage. Is any one of you in particular taking point on securing your transit?
Yeah, I think I can probably.
Okay.
I'm not good at talking to people, so
I'm decent at talking to people, but I don't think I know people who have that particular.
Unless you're a kind of a traveler, so if you'd like to do that.
I mean, I can go talk to the guy who, brought me into town.
The boat?
I was just like,
I'll take care of the boat.
well, I was going to say, you are going to need to get a stagecoach to a ferry to another stagecoach.
Yeah,
Goodness.
I'll take care of those kind of logistics.
This is
That's
going
fine.
to be a...
I'll go with you, of course.
Oh, thank you, Richard. Yes.
So, Richard and the doctor,
Dr. Coriander.
Dr. Coriander, you will be heading to, you will be working on the travel arrangements. Soren, I assume you're going to spend some time studying the codex?
Yeah, I would like to study the codex and gather iron, holy symbols, anything extra gunpowder, extra flint, just in case it gets wet, and it probably will. Anything that I think we might need to defend ourselves. That's going to be my defense and trying to dig into what this might be.
Sure. No, that's great. You're going to gather up some things. And then, Signe, are you doing anything specific to prepare?
I suspect that Signe is the sort of person who has cultivated the children of the town into a sort of whisper network. So doing the I'm going to be gone for a while, keep an eye on things kind of discussion with some of the others.
Yeah, you find one of the, maybe not necessarily the next oldest child, but the most responsible one.
Yeah.
Give them a little bit of the, rundown of what to keep an eye on.
Yeah.
Find anybody who tends to get a little unruly and give them your threat of death of, they're in charge while I'm gone.
Of course. And I think that I also know various merchants who would sell, day-old food for a lower price and things like that, so I would obtain some of that after begging a little bit of money off of the doctor if he has any.
Yes.
Yeah.
Coin two to spare, I suppose.
And get us at least supplies for the first couple of days.
Yeah, a little bit of just a little bit of preemptive, not sure where you're going, not sure
Right.
how you're going.
Obviously, I trust Soren's ability to hunt. Hunting is also a time-consuming activity.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, and you're not all fully without means, but this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Speaking of which, what is everybody's resource score?
3.
4.
4?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't think you...
You may not have one.
I probably don't.
I chose struggling, living standard struggling, and a value of 3.
At the very least...
Oh, resources 1 to 3?
Yeah. At the very least,
I don't know what that means.
the doctor has a resource score of 4, and I'm
That's
guessing...
why I have a house.
Yeah, I was just saying, I'm guessing you probably have about a 4 because you have the means to travel,
Yeah.
and you're reasonable. Your family at least is reasonably well off, even
My
if
parents,
you're...
I'm in London. My
Yeah.
extra coin to travel
Yeah, every so
around.
often they just shoot a little allowance after you send your mother beautiful postcards from... You probably have an accumulation from places that you are not in
Yeah,
to
no,
make it seem like
he
you're
fully
traveling.
Might be
stocked
two.
up on the way over.
And find what I need. So I'm going to say I'm a 2.
Great. The real key here is that we have at least one person who has at least a 4, which means you will be able to hire a stagecoach.
Yay.
If all of you are too low on the scale, you were gonna have to go hop a train illegally or something.
Yeah.
But no, it's gonna
This is ingenious.
it's gonna be a little pricey. Just cumulatively, but you're able to arrange hiring a coach to the ferry.
Great.
You know you'll be able to hop the ferry, and you know you will be able to easily find a place to hire a coach on the other side, or get on a train with normal tickets in the normal way.
Boring.
Yes, but there are certain things that
You would actually vibrate out of your skin if you were to jump a train, which is the only reason I'm not pushing harder for it.
Oh, I jumped a train.
Which direction?
Off.
Thought so.
The doctor has a brief war flashback. And you all gather your things. You meet at the coach station.
I think
In your travel.
from my bag, I'll take out 4 mason jars, and I'll give one to each, and it's warm. And I've made what's the Russian soup? The cabbage
Borscht?
soup. Borscht. I've made borscht for us for the travel. It'll help keep us warm, and it's pretty good. I think I'd like Victor Coriander to be a good cook for some reason.
That works.
Yeah, I think he's made some like really rich, delicious borscht for us to sip and borscht
Yeah, some sipping borscht.
for the road.
And while the bread rolls that Signe has provided are a day old, so they're not at their freshest, the fact that they're a little bit harder and can soak up the soup is actually quite nice. It makes a good combination. You feel like you'll be good for the next several hours, and this will make up for the fact that you're going to try to get to the ferry as quickly as possible. So you're probably not going to stop for dinner tonight. You're going to ride straight through to get to.
Either on the road or save it for the. Just
Thank you.
if I could, you're welcome.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Of course.
Travel to Fjallbacka. It's going to take you a little under a week. Welcome to the 1700s.
Yeah.
The 1800s. All of them at once.
Yes.
It's going to take you 4 or 5 days, provided the weather is good. We'll say the weather is good, and you can do it in 5.
Yay.
This does mean
Backpack of borscht.
this
You have a backpack of borscht.
It's just a kettle.
And it just smells, the entire carriage smells like borscht.
Yeah, that's right.
You do notice after a couple of days, weirdly, no one wants to share a carriage with you, and but since the cost's the same either way, they just all say, no, we'll wait. Okay.
I'm joking. I don't have a backpack of borscht. That's silly.
Anyway, we will montage through the travel. If there is, this would be the sequence of like, is there any other preparations or research you want to do? But there's not really a lot of way to do research while you're traveling in this day and age. So I think this is a lot of reading the codex, reading over the letter which Linnea sent with you, Oscar's letter, and possibly talking to your fellow travelers to see if anybody comes from the coast.
We have fellow travelers
You on the
little while.
yeah.
with the borscht.
I mean, you're
We only had one large mason chart.
yeah, you're hiring stagecoaches and ferries along the way, and the borscht isn't going to last the entire 5 days. They're not that large of jars. So you will, at the very least, at stopovers when like the horses have to change out or whatever, there's going to be other people waiting for transit at the various locations. So you can always speak to them and ask questions. Unfortunately, there's not a lot to be known about Fjallbacka just because it's kind of small and desolate and out of the way.
Has anyone heard of the herring baron?
Anybody who has heard of Fjallbacka has heard of the herring bear.
Sure.
Fjallbacka has been a fishing village for a couple hundred years, and its fortunes are entirely tied to the herring harvest. And since the herring baron came into power, Fjallbacka has gotten itself on the map simply because it has had more successful years than not in recent memory. It is often referred to, it is its prized commodity, and they often refer to it as the silver of the sea. That's it. That's the name of the module. I said it, guys.
Roll credits.
When the guy in the movie says the name of the movie, it's like,
said
wow,
the
it's the name
thing.
of the movie.
But that's about all, unfortunately, that you're really able to find. And by the end of 5 days of near consistent travel, sleeping in stagecoaches, you're probably all just ready to arrive. And so arrive you do. You travel by stagecoach to the Gotha Canal, from whence you take a boat, from whence you take another stagecoach.
I think along the way I'd like to try and teach, what's your name? Signe, a rhyming game, like a word rhyming game, because you're like a kid. And I'm like, during the war, this is how we fill time. And it's a number of words thing. So the first person says one word, and the second person says 2 words, and the last word has to rhyme with the corresponding end we go up to 5 words and back and forth, and they has to rhyme.
So the second word has to rhyme with the first one of the first one. The third word has to rhyme with the second one of the second one.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Would you like to play? Richard, come play with us.
He's more the word
just
person.
fully in the codex.
Deeply reading.
Anyway, I thought it'd be fun.
So the word like borscht?
That's mean. It's hard to find a word that rhymes with borscht.
It's like
There's-
orange.
I think they call it a B rhyme, like worst.
You know about words?
What did they say about judging books by covers?
No. I'm impressed. If you'd like to play, of course.
Richard even more deeply into the codex. I'm so busy reading.
I'd be happy to play.
After 5 days of this, you reach Filbaka, a small fishing village cowering under the huge mountains of Vetberget. It is hot here.
What?
In the tail end of summer, it is
Oh.
very warm here. But you imagine if the breeze picks up off the ocean, it will probably be very pleasant. But right now, it's just humid. On the horizon, across the shining sea, you can see the rounded shapes of numerous barren granite islands and increasing blue of the ocean the further out you look, until you see nothing but the horizon, where the sea and the sky meet and perhaps become one and the same. As you arrive, you are dropped off near the docks. You can see there is a fair amount of activity here. This is, an area that makes its trade through fishing, after all. You see fishing boats, you see small passenger boats, you see many people milling about. And probably most notably, given the information you have to go off of, you do see a very young man in a priest's cassock who seems to just be sort of like anxiously hovering near
My kin.
sort of drop-off station. Yeah, he's you look, I'm just gonna make an assumption here based on what I know of everyone's personalities. Signe, you probably look and immediately just go, oh no.
There's
This
like
guy's
5 reasons for
a
the
kid.
oh no.
But no, this guy looks very young. This is not some like white-haired, like knowledgeable priest. This is a very young man. But he is clearly here making sure you know he's a priest. He seems like as good a if he's not the person you're looking for, he's probably gonna know who is. But again, that weird sixth sense, call it, that hairs on the back of your neck, that weird sense that you get, you kind of have a horrible suspicion that this might be your guy.
Excuse me.
Hello, yes.
Are you, what was it?
Father Udgren.
Oh, yes. We are, with the group that you asked for help with your problem, your friend who passed away.
You received my letter?
Oh.
Yes.
Do you have a letter?
Yes, you show him the letter, and he just, God be praised.
Ha-
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming.
How can we help?
He indicates to the letter, Father Hedquist, they said he killed himself. He would never have done such a thing. Why would a man of God have any need to... And we will all be called to the arms of the Father when our time comes. It was not his time. I believe this is a conspiracy. I believe... No one will listen to me, but I believe the Herring Baron and the Godmother and their horrible, horrible kin are trying to cover something up. I believe that Father Hedquist knew something that they didn't want him to know. And rather than bow to the authority of God and listen to our words, they decided to kill him.
But we are a very particular group with a very...
I've met some of your order, and they have always seemed very honorable and trustworthy, and to be seekers of the truth. And that is what I seek. I seek the truth of the matter.
From everything I've heard, would he look old enough to have met anybody from the society?
He would have been a kid. Like, this guy looks like he's maybe, like, mid-20s.
Yeah, if he's older than Signy, it's not by a lot.
Yeah. You said you met them? When did you meet the society?
During my studies in Christiana, when I was studying to take the priesthood, I met several who came from your order, is it? The children.
Ah.
They told me of a wondrous group that they used to all join to, a group that sought the truth and sought to protect the innocent. And I thought that is what we need, is all of the innocent souls on Wrecker Isle who are being corrupted by the horrible influence of the Herring Baron, and now murder.
Perhaps murder is not something to shout.
I put a hand on his arm and I say, we will do our best to find the truth.
Wonderful, wonderful. I have hired a sloop to take me out to Wrecker Isle, and you are certainly welcome to come along now that it is fortuitous that you have arrived at this time. I have been going back and forth trying to investigate on my own, but I cannot leave my flock here for too long, even though I need to minister to the poor lost souls of the islands as well. You can come with me. It is about an hour's sail to the island, and we can discuss further. I can tell you more of anything you need to know to investigate.
We, in for a penny, in for a pound, we've just been traveling for a week, so one more hour doesn't seem...
Do you know if your friend kept a journal of any kind? Or papers of where he might have written... If you think that they killed him in order to cover something up, maybe he wrote something down here.
May we see his quarters?
He did not, I mean, he and I both have lived in the church. We do not keep personal possessions, for our calling is to God.
Not even any kind of writings?
Not that I'm aware of.
Homilies and such?
Well, certainly notes for homilies and sermons, but once we have preached them, we memorize them so that we can speak them anywhere.
Did he have a congregation himself?
He and I have both traveled and served many congregations. We are not tied to one singular place.
What is his connection to the Baron, then?
He and I and several of our kind have taken many trips to Wrecker Isle to try to turn the locals from the horrible the sinful influence of the Amazon family.
Herring influence.
Has he usually made those trips by himself, or has he taken anybody with him?
He has taken some on his own. Sometimes we travel together. There may have been others before me. He has been like a mentor and a father to me, taking me under his wing, and we've traveled together to many of the islands.
We could say we were asking these things on the way to.
He's leading you to this little.
Yeah.
He's got a little hired sloop.
And I'm helping with the stuff. We're bringing stuff.
And where did the incident occur? Where was he found?
He washed up on the shore.
With an apparent gunshot wound.
Yes, a gunshot, point blank, directly to the head. The local authorities said it must have been self-inflicted.
Is that? Do you know?
He had been visiting Wrecker Isle, and then he washed up on the shore of Whale Isle, which is a little ways down the archipelago. About a week after he was last seen on Wrecker
goodness.
Isle.
Do you know the extent of his decomposition?
His body had been in the water for a week, and he had a gunshot wound to the head.
Okay. Yeah, right.
Is there, before we get on the sloop, I would like to find, nope, never mind. Soren knows nothing about the ocean, so they would not go and find this thing.
I mean, if you want to make a test, you want to take a stealth
Sure,
test
I
for it
will.
to see
I will
if
test.
you see if one of your partners over the years came from a coastal town and taught you something.
Yeah, so I'm watching the water and its movement, and I, Cal, am thinking, I wonder if there are any records of the tides.
Oh, sure.
What shall I roll? Investigation?
Yeah, I think this would be an investigation
Learning.
test.
That's 0 in investigation and 4 in logic.
Okay, so that's going to be a pool of 4. I'm going to say that this is a normal difficulty. This is something that you might be able to just inherently think of and know who to ask about that. So I need you to roll at least 1 6.
Yeah,
You got a 6?
1 6.
Beautiful. All right. You are able to come up with that information, and if you wish to pursue it, it's up to you. Even if it's just, it may be as simple as just saying that out loud.
I wonder if there's records of how the water moves.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
Said it.
What if we don't know for sure where he was killed? Why was he in the water? Where was he before?
But yes.
How did he get there on Whale Isle?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm sure there has to be somebody around the docks that keeps track of that kind of thing.
As you're approaching the sloop, you see there is the skipper of the sloop that is going to take you to. There are a handful of various like sailors and fishermen along the area. You may take your pick from strapping young man fisherman, grizzled dude with a pipe fisherman, guy who is all deltoids fisherman.
What sounds the most fun for you?
it's always either incredibly young or incredibly old.
Sure.
But if you just want like dude who is just like a dude, I can do that.
Any men who are fish?
No men who are fish. One man that you're pretty sure is actually a lady.
Beautiful!
Go for it.
So, out here, it's just about who honors the sea enough to survive it, right?
Can you do the job?
We don't discriminate a whole lot, except for you guys are getting some odd looks because you're outsiders, but it doesn't seem to be anything more nefarious than people clocking like, new people.
So we're wondering of like the direction of the tides.
You are headed down to the shore where all of these boats are.
No.
Above the table, yeah, my thought was like if we know that he was headed toward Wrecker Isle, and we know that he was on Wrecker Isle.
He was on Wrecker Isle when he was last seen alive.
But we don't know if he was killed on Wrecker Isle.
Right.
He could have been taken out to sea and killed. He could have been killed on another island.
Right.
I was actually thinking something similar, but Signe has no way of knowing that sort of thing. Of like, is that the way the current would go?
Yes.
From Wrecker Isle.
Yes.
I know that. Signe has no clue.
Well, I'm gonna say this: you're about to get on a sloop with Oscar. This sloop is also has a skipper and like a kid. When I say kid, in the way that Signe is a kid,
Yes,
like
yes.
a muscle-bound teenager of indeterminate age
Yes.
who clearly helps run this boat. You're going to be stuck with all of these folks for an hour. You will, you could certainly strike either the skipper or the kid up with conversation and ask them, and they would both know. But I think before we get too deep into that and into the rest of Oscar's information, I think now is a good pause point to go to our party.
Already?
Yes.
Why?
Yeah, you guys can role play like nobody's business, which is why I have to really enforce the like it's scene based. We do a scene and then we move, and then we do a scene and then we move.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that we role play so hard. This is why I wasn't worried about filling the time. Everybody, please stick around. We're gonna be back in like 10 minutes or less. Hang out, chat, post your theories in the comments so that I can read them later. Start thinking of questions for the After Dark. We will be back so soon to continue this mystery.
Ooh.
Hello, friends and foes, fays and fiends, and welcome back to Quests and Chaos. Do not mind while we get ourselves some break protein. It is important to take care of your bodies. And while you take care of your bodies, we will take care of some narration. Our Thursday's children, our holders of the site, have been dispatched to Fjallbaka, a small fishing village. And more importantly, they have now arrived and immediately are leaving Fjallbaka to make their way to Wrecker
Hello, goodbye.
Isle. To make their way to Wrecker.
In?
I,
Oh, fine, I think.
I like the name Fjallbaka.
Yeah.
It's a nice name.
Sadly, you don't get to stay here in the real town because you must go to Wrecker Isle. Wrecker Isle is the last known location of Father Karl Erik Hedvist, a local priest who died some time ago. He disappeared off of Wrecker Isle, and then about a week later, his body washed ashore on Whale Isle, badly decomposed from being in the water and with a gunshot wound to the head. It was ruled by the authorities as self-inflicted, and the matter was closed, except for Father Hedvist's. This is so hard. You'd think I'd be able to do it because Elspeth's last name was Linkvist. This is Hedvist, but there's something about the.
I just keep hearing head fist.
It's
Fist.
Hedqvist.
Yeah.
Hedvist, yeah. It's fine.
Head fist.
He's dead, so if you mispronounce his name, it's not going to matter that much. But his sort of mentee, a young priest named Oscar Udgren, does not believe that his mentor would have taken his own life. That doesn't make any sense. So he has reached out to the truth seekers that he once met from the order, the mysterious order that he interfaced with as a student. He doesn't really know exactly who you are or what you do, but he knows that you seek answers and truth. And he trusts that. And so now you have boarded the sloop he has hired and are making your way to Wrecker Isle, the den of sin.
Yay!
Thievery.
Sin.
Oh, you're a fan of Sin?
With Oscar. So,
We have some disturbingly literal people in this party.
this is
Teach their own.
this is just a really interesting makeup of a group, and I'm very excited about it, and I'm also terrified. Again, this module could get very rushed at the end, or you guys might be done by the end of tonight, depending on how you decide to approach it. The lovely thing about Vaesen, if you didn't tune last week, is that there are no real wrong ways to go about solving the mystery, and there are multiple solutions. You may not necessarily encounter everything. You may get to a point where you're like, I'm just going to make a deal and leave, and then you're done. You don't have to do the rest of it. And that's all just about how the characters play the game, and I love that. There's also a possibility that everybody dies. Who knows? Games! Horror games, everybody.
Fingers crossed.
Currently,
You determine which way.
To die?
we haven't gotten a true
Dealer's choice.
TPK on this channel in a very long time,
It's
if
true.
ever.
The closest we've ever gotten is wiping out a bunch of characters that were meant to be wiped out in a
An arena doesn't count.
It's on the channel.
But it's not a campaign.
All right, friend.
We can talk about this in the after dark. For now, I'd like to get back to the story. You're on a sloop. You have an hour with Father Udgren, the skipper, and the bosun, the hired kid, the what did I call him? The jacked teenager.
A little less scrungly than
Oh, he's definitely not right. He's built. That's what I call him. He's the built teenager. There is a lot of muscle. He spends a lot of time rowing boats and hauling in large nets full of fish. He has a lot of muscles. What questions would you like to ask? Because otherwise I'm just gonna weirdly monologue you through a bunch of information. Oscar can tell you a lot of things about Wrecker Isle and the people there. We also determined that you have some questions possibly about the tides.
Is there any subject off limits with the people that we shouldn't bring up? Anything that they're sensitive about?
Well, I mean, these are simple villagers who make their living off of the fishery trade. They're very loyal to the herring baron because of the prosperity that he has brought through his fishery. I think that perhaps they're a little too trusting. I don't believe that his intentions are entirely honorable, though I can't deny that he has brought great prosperity to the area.
And what is the herring baron like?
He's very perfumed.
He smells like fish.
No.
I was going to say, which
He smells
direction?
like cloying potpourri flowers.
That actually kind of leads to my question. What is the nature of this den of sin that you keep mentioning?
Fornication and I like most.
A lot of dudes slapping meat.
The Amundsens have lived on the island for generations. I'm trying to find all of their names. Benjamin and Abela have run the inn for 50 years, somewhat. When the herring returned, sorry, I lied. They've lived in Falbaka for some 50 odd years. When the herring returned 30 years ago, Abela used funds from who knows where to purchase Wrecker Isle and build the inn and the warehouse with her sons. And that is from where they have begun to run their business. The inn serves the locals who work or live there, and the warehouse for the processing of the fish. They were once very poor, like everyone else on this, from what I understand. This is all what Carl Eric told me. And then their fortunes turned with the turning of the tide and the return of the herring. Zacharias seems to have a great mind for running the business, and under his watchful guidance, especially after the death of Benjamin, the family has prospered and flourished, but with great prosperity and wealth come great temptations, and I believe that is what has turned the locals away from the true word. It is very easy to become complacent when there is prosperity and to forget the true way. Many are lured there with promises of wealth and opportunity, travel, and who knows what else, but we must be careful of such things.
Sorry, just, are there any local, legends? Any rumors or things that the locals talk about that they are afraid of?
The kinds of stories that mothers tell their children to keep them from going into things.
The ocean is a dark and dangerous place. It must be feared and respected, but also it is a tool. Nature is dangerous, and if you do not respect it, then it can consume you.
And do they have a religious institution on the island?
That is why myself and Father Hedquist have spent so much time there, is trying to bring them back to the true religion and away from their... It's not that they have turned away from God. It seems they have simply forgotten about him, or don't take the time to make room for him.
Is there a church there?
The only buildings on the Isle are the inn, the warehouse, and the family's residence, where the herring baron and his family live.
Do the people who work there live here?
Mostly they travel back and forth from Falbaka, or a few live on some of the outer isles. There is a very old fisherman named Orvar who lives on Graveyard Isle. Is something of a hermit, but he does seem to come spend an extraordinary amount of time drinking at the inn. Again, a thing that could not have happened before this inn was opened to provide nothing but drinking and debauchery for otherwise honest, hard-working fishermen who could be going home to wives and children instead.
The
I have a very personal knowledge of that.
I have spent a great deal of time speaking to the locals and traveling between Falbaka and Wrecker Isle, trying to encourage them to find better, more fulfilling ways of spending their time instead of drinking, playing cards, and making lewd comments at barmaids. You could be doing something productive, such as reading the good word or spending time with family, building gardens, creating community relationships.
Had the Baron or the Godmother had any direct contact with Father, what's his name?
Father Headfist.
Headfist, yeah.
Because he's a vicar, but I think they're all
Vicar.
still father.
Vicar
We've never
Headfist.
mentioned him being a vicar before, but that is his official title.
We don't
if you
even
wanna
know if they're actually
Father Hedquist-
Christian, right? Like, this is just the capital.
They look
religion.
pretty legit.
Like,
there's a lot of references in there to like Christian specific
Christian.
iconography.
Oh, I think you may have been out of the room when I mentioned Christianity is the default religion
it
of the
is.
Mythic North, and while your characters may not necessarily believe it, it is not inherently like a negative thing. It is just a prevailing
It's
thing.
just there.
It's just there. And again, much like we know in our modern culture, like vampires and werewolves are often deterred by symbology associated with Catholicism. This is another, like a lot of the church symbology will be deterrent to the Vaesen because they come from a different other time and place. Father Hedfist, you asked if he said of contact. Of course, he said contact with them. He spent many nights outside the tavern, preaching and trying to call the lost souls away, bring them back to the light of the Lord. He also got thrown out of the tavern many times for so doing, as have I.
but no direct contact.
I don't. I'm sorry. Maybe I was not clear. Godmother Abela has her sons throw you out directly, or she threatens you with her shotgun.
She has a shotgun.
She sounds formidable.
Yes, that is an excellent word to describe her.
Do you
I would not want to meet her alone in a dark alley if she was mad at me.
did Father Headfist have a gun himself?
He did. He had a revolver with him the last time that he traveled. He felt very endangered. I believe someone may have threatened him.
You don't know who?
It could have been anyone. All of them are wicked, depraved individuals sinking further into vice and misguided misunderstandings of their priorities.
And was the gun wound a revolver wound, or just an indeterminate?
Is there such a way to tell a thing?
You would
In
not.
this the year of our Lord pre-forensic sciences?
If it was a shotgun, you would not have a head.
I have seen.
That's accurate. There is like a noticeable difference.
Would be no head.
It is believed to have been fired from his own gun. It does not appear to be from Abela's shotgun or any other large item, so it is a handgun of some sort. Smaller caliber. His revolver was very small so that he could hide it under his cassock without raising concern.
Of course.
I want to glance over at the skipper and the other kid, and like if they've been within earshot of any of this.
You're kind of all in earshot.
I figured it's pretty small.
It's a small boat.
I want to get like the vibe, I guess, of how they feel about the priest, his mentor, and the general way that they describe this, because I wonder if this is the sloop that he consistently hires to get out there, or
Make a vibe check.
These guys seem extremely neutral, and you don't know if that's just because it's practiced, like, resting nothing face, or if they genuinely don't care, or if they've just heard this all 1,000 times.
sure.
there doesn't really seem to be a lot of, like, there is neither disgust nor buy-in. There is just kind of like, yep, we are taking you guys from point A to point B.
Sure.
Young one,
Yeah?
tell me about the tides.
What do you want to know?
What are they like? Any storms recently?
Anything
Anything odd?
Well, the weather's been a little worse than usual the last couple of days. Not full storms, but the currents have been particularly strong, and the fish have been thinning out, which usually predicates a storm.
If Father Hedvist was killed in Riker, does it follow logic that he would end up on Whale Isle a week later? Does that follow the currents as you know them?
I'm gonna have this kid roll.
That's a good handful of dice.
Mm-hmm.
He knows some things about some things. He thinks about it for a minute, and then he kind of looks over, and you see the sort of like a brief moment of like silent conversation between him and the skipper, just kind of over your heads. One of them's in the front of the boat, one of them's the back of the boat, and they kind of have a little bit of a like, huh thing. And then he turns and goes, well, based on what they said about where he came from and where he ended up, it was a week, so it's hard to say, because the currents can do strange things in a week, especially with the changing of all the currents and the tides, and the way the fish have sort of come and gone of late. But Whale Isle's not really... Going from Whale Isle to Wrecker Isle would make a certain amount of sense based on the flow, but going from Wrecker Isle to Whale Isle almost seems like the wrong direction. It seems like to end up on Whale Isle, or on the side of Whale Isle where the father's body was found, it would have had to be much further out.
Can you
Good.
can you take us there?
Now? No.
When can you take us there?
He looks over to the skipper, and the skipper just sort of goes, when the tides are right, for the right coin.
How far?
Where is it you want to be going?
The most likely place someone would have to have been put in the water to get to.
That could have been any number of there are hundreds of islands in this archipelago.
Yes.
But this is a good piece of information.
Less likely to have come from Wrecker Isle.
Correct, yes.
Unless the currents went wrong.
Unless the currents went. The only things... Oh,
A map.
Or they dumped his
Hey,
body out.
Fjallbaka is here. Sorry, those of you who are viewing the VOD of this, you're not really going to be able to see this map, but I will try to post one in our Discord, perhaps. Fjallbaka is here. You are going to Wrecker Isle, which is down here. Graveyard Isle, where the hermit fisherman lives, is up here. This is Whale Isle.
oh
Oh.
wow.
And what side did his body get discovered on?
Whale.
It was discovered here. Last known location was here.
Oh, yeah.
That's strange.
If we do need to get to other places, is
Hire a boat.
you're a boat?
There's
That's-
many boats.
Oh, okay.
If I'm not out fishing, sometimes the boat's for hire. But if the fishing is good, that's where the boat is. Unless you can pay me better than the Baron.
I can't.
How's the fish been lately?
Weird.
How so?
He points at the kid. The kid shrugs like I said, it's been kind of almost like pre-storm conditions these days, and so the fish have been there was a little more, and now there's a little less, and the currents are strange, and everyone's worried that maybe the fish are going to go away again, because everyone's always worried the fish are going to go away again. There's still a lot of people out here, a lot of I'm not old enough to remember, but a lot of the sailors out here are old enough to remember in the days before the fish came back when everything was, scrapping for your spot and hoping you could get enough to feed your family.
About when did the fish start getting weird?
The last week or so?
When was Udgren killed?
Okay, so it took us about a week. It took us about 5 days to get here.
Yeah.
It has been about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's been just under 2 weeks.
Okay.
Well, it's been just under 2 weeks since he was last seen, which we were assuming was he died shortly thereafter.
Sure.
Because he was last seen. His body was found a week later. The letter got to you more quickly through the wonders of handwavium.
I love that
This is-
element.
This is a thing that I spent a lot of time mathing in the book. Linnea's got magic, probably. You don't know.
Or, there's people who will periodically, Pony Express it.
Yeah. But yeah, you'd say it's probably been, just about 2 weeks.
And what has been done with the body?
I assume it looks over to Father.
I guess that's who I'm asking. I
yeah.
wouldn't ask the
They're gonna-
fisherman.
He was buried with all the rites of the church, of course.
Where?
In the churchyard on Fjallbaka.
Okay. Yes, of course.
I'm starting to think we should have spent more time on Fjallbaka.
Why would you spend more time on Fjallbaka? The crime happened on Wrecker Isle.
You think it happened on Reka Isle?
Well, it certainly didn't happen in Fjallbaka. I was there. I would have known something. I would have been able to do something.
If you knew he was there.
If you knew it was happening. If
If
He was-
it can happen on an island.
it even happened on an island, yes.
Where else would it have happened? There's only islands around here. I don't know if you've noticed. He sort of waves his hand as you have been sailing between all of these just big granite rock protrusions that make up this archipelago.
We're on a boat.
I was good. Open on a boat. Open ocean. Open-ish ocean.
Well, of course, there have been stories of before of tempers flaring on the fishing boats, and a fight occurs, and someone is unceremoniously left to the waves in one way or another. But that is certainly possible. But I do not know why Father Hedquist would have been on a boat unless he were to be returning to Fjallbaka, and that doesn't, from what you just said of the tides, that does not seem to match the
Or
way of the
forced.
waters.
Forced onto the boat?
There are many
possible.
options. I think we should not believe something we think to be true without seeing what is there. You don't know what you're hunting until you look at the tracks.
Yeah, and every detective novel that I've read, it's pretty good idea to go explore the last known location of the victim. So I think this is still going to be pretty useful in order to figure out this mystery.
Don't mistake a wolf for a hare.
The skipper at this point just kind of speaks and goes, "It's not the only one who went missing, you know."
What?
No, we didn't know.
Yeah, we didn't know that.
They say those brothers, the godmother's sons. They say one of them's been missing for
Oh.
some time.
Which one?
Paul.
Paul.
They all had P names, right?
Yes, it was
I don't know.
Paul, Pete, and Pace.
What does Paul do?
Beats people up for his mother.
Ah.
Catches fish. Drinks a lot.
When was the last time he was seen around?
Couple of weeks.
Around the same time.
Yeah.
Is his mother looking for him?
I don't talk to her.
Any increased activity around there where someone might have been like, have you seen big scary beady up person?
You mean his brothers?
Are they looking for him?
I don't know if they've got enough brains to do that unless their mother told them to. They pretty much just follow her instructions.
Sure.
They're not really, creative types.
I'm sure we can ask her when we get to the place
You propose just asking her.
if she's looking for her son.
You should talk to the barmaid. Barmaids know everything.
That's true.
Oscar goes, well, maybe not the barmaid. We shouldn't be bringing innocence into this, but maybe we ask around the tavern.
I'm sorry,
yes.
Father. If we're looking for the truth, we need to ask any potential source of information. We wouldn't exclude any avenues.
Of course. I just mean,
And when people are in their cups, they tend to talk, especially to people who are bringing them more cups.
I just mean perhaps we don't go dragging any innocents into business that they shouldn't be involved in.
What?
I think we can
I
be a
am
little
not.
delicate.
I am not good at this, but I think there is a way to talk to someone and not let them know what you are doing.
That's a running theory.
Yeah, I think we'll just have to be a little tactful.
I don't know that word.
I do.
The
Should be
kid
great.
looks and goes. The kid looks and goes. Makes eye contact with you and goes. They play word games, don't they? He just nods a little bit.
And I grin at him in that way of like, yeah, no, you know.
Couldn't really bring any harm.
They're very short on
Charm.
charm.
Do you have any other questions before I end this scene? Fast forward us
Just one
to-
last question.
Yes.
Does
for-
anybody want a peanut?
No rhymes now, I mean it. No, one last question for the locals.
Yeah.
Tell me a story of your land. Tell me a story of the sea. And what I'm looking for is any kind of
Yeah.
spooky ooky stories about this particular area.
That might give us a hint about a Vaesen.
High or low?
Ooh, friends in low places.
Okay.
New book!
So many flips.
To get to the right chapter, I don't have it flagged. There's sort of a little bit of a pause, and then, still eyes out to the horizon as he's steering, the skipper just starts to speak and says, when the ice receded, 2 serpents were born at the bottom of the sea, Gorning and Hyder. When they first met, the serpents fought for 7 days and 7 nights, until both monsters became entangled with one another. Over time, or through the dark magic of the thalassic deep, the serpents merged into the gristle monster, which over the years has attacked vessels on the sea of Aland. It is said the serpent has now laid its own egg in the muddy seabed, and among the shipwrecks, and those sailors who venture there, without fair winds, fair trade, and fair warning, will be fed to the creature's infant.
That was a good one. Did you write it down?
Yeah, I got the gist.
And you settle in for the rest of your voyage.
Dane squeeze. Babies!
We are not petting these babies.
I want to pet the
Don't
baby.
touch the kelpie! The catchphrase of this game.
Don't pet the church grim. Don't touch the kelpie.
Yeah, don't pet the church group, don't touch the kelpie.
But it's so squishy.
After some more time and possibly some more stories and questions, you are you are maybe a little bit of a nap, depending on where you're at and your exhaustion from this long trek you have made. You soon realize you must be nearing your destination, as you can see more and more boats suddenly appearing, and you start to hear shouting from the distance as you sort of crest along, come around one of these granite protrusions, these sort of lifeless mini islands that make up this archipelago, and suddenly see sails, boats, ropes being tossed, crates being unloaded, nets being wound together.
Shanties?
Maybe a shanty or two. And mostly you are all hit with the overwhelming stench of train oil and herring. As you circle around and the breeze catches you, this is Wrecker Isle. The first thing you can see on the isle itself, as you sort of begin to weave through these larger boats and approach the isle, is this large yellow warehouse that can only be the home of the Herring Baron's operations. You see, it's got sort of a little bit of almost that sort of mural painted on the side that just says, "The Silver of the Sea," the large painting of a very, very true-to-life herring on the side. As you get a little closer, you can see that there are 2 more buildings visible. One of them seems to be about 3 stories high. You would guess that is the inn. The other one next to it, a little smaller but much nicer looking. And from what you have been told, that would have to be the residence of the Amundsen family. Udgrin will confirm this for you, that these are the 3 buildings. You know these are essentially the only 3 buildings on this isle, and they are all owned by the Amundsen family. As you get closer and closer, you see that the dock is bustling and packed. You can almost feel not just the summer heat, which has lessened as you've been out on the open ocean, but that heat of bodies moving, that constant activity, carrying herring up to the warehouse, bringing empty boxes and nets down, the back and the forth, and this just rolling wave of fish and oil and people. There is a fully rigged ship ready to set sail that appears to be being loaded with the last of its cargo, and then swarms of these smaller schooners, barges, skiffs that are all scattered along. Various dinghies and rowboats are scattered, helping transport people between and get people from the larger docked ships onto the land itself around all of these boats. It's the aquatic equivalent of a traffic jam.
I was wondering if the harbor was actually deep enough for a ship to be pulled up.
It is. Not fully to the isle, but there is
Pretty
definitely,
close.
you can get close enough to ferry everything with the smaller boats. The skipper of your particular boat just looks and does the 1800s equivalent of, "Oh, hell no," and kind of reroutes slightly, goes a little further down the way, finds an area that is a little less trafficked. It's going to mean a little bit of a walk for you, but kind of worth it to not have to swim to shore, which seems to be the probable other alternative. He pulls up, finds an empty place to dock. Your strapping young teenager hops out to tie off the boat and help anyone out, help you unload any luggage that you may have. I assume everybody probably has some sort of little valise or satchel traveling easily enough to fit on stagecoaches and such, as you have been forewarned. And you arrive at Wrecker Isle. It looks like this. This is literally all it is. It is
3 buildings.
3 buildings.
Okay.
And one dock, one L-shaped dock.
Yeah, that's just the nearest dock to the warehouse.
Oh, okay.
All the bigger boats would be like a little bit further out. But yes, there's a warehouse, there is a residence, and there is an inn. couple of outbuildings there for storage and or privies. To be determined. The question everyone has to ask, even in my horror games, yes, there are bathrooms.
I was not going to ask that. I was going to ask if the outhouse mimic was going to make an appearance.
No, because it's not D&D.
No, but it is an outhouse.
There are no mimics in that book. I checked. There are things that mimic things, but they are not traditional.
You know, you're running the game. You can put whatever you want.
I can.
Stop asking for a mimic. We're gonna die.
This is like everybody asking to make sanity checks in Call of Cthulhu, and I'm like, why are you asking? They gave you the information for free. You arrive here, and you are able to move about as you please. There are a fair number of people here. It looks like I'm gonna say that we're sort of in that like mid to late afternoon when the workday is sort of wrapped. You know, all the good fishing happens in the morning, and then you do all the processing and loading, whatever. So you are at the point where anybody who's gonna be leaving is loading and leaving. And anybody who's waiting till the morning again is going to disperse off for their nightly activities, which, you know, seems to be drinking at the inn on this island. Because, again, there's not really anything else here.
But we'll be staying in the inn, I'd imagine.
Provided that you can afford a room and that they have space. Otherwise, you're probably going to have to bribe someone to let you sleep on a boat.
I will sleep like I always sleep under the stars.
You sleep? Says my non-existent NPC who isn't here to ask.
You sleep?
Contrary to popular belief, yes, I sleep.
You guys, with the assistance of our strapping young lad and the skipper, you all and Father Udgrin make your way onto shore and begin the little bit of a trek across the rock of Wrecker Isle over to the inn. You can see, again, it is that point. We would call it happy hour.
Thank you.
It is that point when like enough people have started to get off work that everyone's starting to congregate, grabbing their tables, grabbing their drinks. You see cards and dice are starting to come out at some tables, and the bar are just full of tired, sweaty men who want to consume alcohol. There is food. As you walk in here, it smells slightly less horrifically of just fishy ocean, and smells a little more like cooking.
That's a step up.
Yeah, it's still not like great. It also smells heavily of tobacco and sticky spilled booze on the floor. But you know, it's something. As you look around, I'm really surprised that didn't make you make a check. But yeah, as you look around, you see, you know, in addition to everybody who's making their way in, there's a young woman who seems to be pulling drinks and serving them on trays, gathering food and things like that. There's got to be somebody in a back kitchen somewhere cooking. There seems to be like another young boy who is helping the young woman serve drinks. Like she's maybe mid-20s. He's like that, like 11, 12. You know, he's doing this for pocket change sort of vibes. You see like some sort of like sandwich or like meat on a roll or bun seems to be the primary food of this place. You also notice that there is a large liquor barrel in the corner upon which is seated an absolutely aggressive looking woman who is just perched on this thing, casually polishing a shotgun as she oversees the room. Nobody really seems to acknowledge her. She's just there. But it doesn't take much for you to guess that this must be the godmother, Abela, the matriarch of the family and the owner of Wrecker Island.
I am rather hungry. I think maybe a sandwich. Sandwiches?
Yeah, maybe ale of some sort.
You should see if there are rooms first.
Who do we? Is there somebody like obvious to talk to for getting a room, or is it just whoever's manning the bar?
It looks like. Let me look at my floor plan because I have one.
Oh, you got a floor plan.
Yeah, I didn't bother giving it to you because it's kind of irrelevant for your guys' purposes.
Oh.
Maybe I'll give it to you later.
I guess we're also keeping an eye out for the barmaid that we were recommended to talk to.
Yeah. It doesn't really have a separate section, so I'm gonna say that as you look around, much like this ancient woman with a shotgun is perched on one barrel, over at a barrel that's a little more, a little closer to the door, you have this sort of lanky guy who looks like he's maybe functioning as the equivalent of maybe a host. Not in the traditional sense, because this is clearly not a place where you need to wait to be seated. You wait until your patience runs out and then punch a guy and then take a seat. Seems to be more the vibe here. But he looks like he's got a sort of a book, so he may be checking for rooms and things like that. You can speak to him.
Hello.
Hello, yes.
Do you have any rooms available?
Yes, we do. I presume you are able to pay for them.
Yeah. Depends. How much are the rooms? Would I be able to afford the rooms?
You would be able to afford
I ask for 2 rooms.
Yeah, you think they're a little exorbitant given that you're on a rock with nothing else, but you are able to afford them.
Supply and demand, I suppose.
You want 2 rooms? He can certainly give you 2. He will give you 2 of the slightly smaller rooms, so it's a little bit more affordable.
I can help pay for one of those.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And you're outside?
Yes.
Great.
I would like to bathe, but yes.
Would you be... Yeah, okay.
There's a little bit of negotiation. Would you prefer to be on the 2nd floor or in the attic?
Attic.
I say 2nd floor, but...
You can do 1 room in each.
2nd floor, unless you feel passionate about it.
I'm an up cat. I always like up.
One of both. No?
One, no,
I mean, if they're set on second, then
want
second floor? 2nd floor, please.
2 rooms on the 2nd floor.
Thank you.
I can just do one. Okay.
Yeah.
I do not understand.
You have your rock outside, I suppose.
What?
Don't you sleep on a rock? I just assume that you sleep. No? That's not.
You know what they say about assume?
Makes us all assholes. I apologize.
No, I was just saying if you have 2 rooms, you can put one in the attic and one in the second floor.
I think we both want to stay. And where can we get sandwiches?
In the attic, too.
Justine! The barmaid comes over. She is doing the swoop of drop off pickup as she makes her way over, but it's very fluid. And
she's in the flow.
Yeah. And she's like, guests, how can I help you?
Yes, we'd like several sandwiches, 4 sandwiches, please.
4 sandwiches.
And an ale. And
ale, anything stronger, anything weaker? We can do ale, half ale, and aquavit.
Do you have any lemonade?
No.
Ale would be nice.
All right.
Ale.
Ales and sandwiches. Right. She looks around, walks over to a guy who is starting to go to a table, whips, she's got one hand on the tray, whips the rag out of her apron with the other hand and snaps at him, so he moves on to a different group, and she waves you over to a table. It's a little bit kind of crowded. This place is getting very full up.
Very nice of her, though.
Yeah.
Wins you over. Definitely looks like the dude that she shoot off kind of looks like, yeah, okay, this maybe is a thing.
I mean, people flirt in all kinds of ways.
Well, we were supposed to talk to her about something. I can't remember what it
She
was.
is very busy.
Sure, but this is above the table. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Any information about the father?
Just, okay.
Yeah.
I think general information. I'm assuming that Father What's His Bucket, Head Fist, probably came.
Head fist.
Head fist.
Well, he was here and got thrown out quite a few times, so I'm sure he is remembered. I'm also curious what she what she knows about like the tenor of the people who come through here.
Yeah.
If she, heard anything that was like threatening in any particular way, or
Hey guys, what if we kill the priest tonight?
Well, anybody
weird shit.
anyone who is particularly antagonistic toward him, I think is really what we
Also,
want to know.
this missing brother.
I don't know that we want to ask like a bunch of questions about the missing
fair.
brother in front
Especially
of the
with
mother.
right there.
Yeah, but I think maybe that's a smoke break question if we can catch him outside at some point.
When are you off?
Yes, cute.
When are you off?
Go flirt with her.
Oh God, that's either gonna go really well or really badly.
Really well. I'm calling it really
I think
well.
Richard would be more apt for such a
I
thing.
believe in you. You got this.
A very important question.
Yes.
Did you guys actively in any way bring Father Udgren along?
No.
with you? Or did you guys just ditch him?
Absolutely
I
not.
think it
No.
would have been like a
Go pray, brother.
a conversation.
Well, and we would have probably had to like actively force him inside because he considers it to be the den of sin.
Oh no, he'll come in. That's why I'm asking if you like. Are you guys specifically
It's more
trying to
like-
not show up with him?
Maybe stay back. It might be better for the investigation if you give us an opportunity to ask around and kind of ascertain who is responsible.
Of course. I can. I will begin my ministry out here. But if you run into any trouble, don't hesitate to call out, and I will make my way in. And he will.
Get up on a soapbox, possibly literally.
No, he will literally climb up on the nearest crate and start preaching.
Yeah, I figured that would happen if we started asking questions.
Do you think we need to be clearer about don't say you know us? Or do you think he gets it?
No, we should say it. We should. I think we should. I don't.
Well,
I mean,
but then the question is, why are we asking a bunch of questions about?
yeah, I
I
think,
don't think we ask questions about
The dead father
The
that we're
father.
here to investigate. I feel like that might be a little counterproductive.
I don't know how to lie.
Maybe.
I think it's
I'll help.
less like telling him not to mention us. I think just let him kind of get in his own thing with the preaching, and I think he will kind of distract himself with that.
Yes.
You have left him outside. You come in. You get these rooms. You request food and drink. You are very kindly proffered a sticky table in the corner, but at least it's a table. There may only be 3 chairs, so one of you may end up either standing or perching on something that is distinctly not a chair.
Okay.
Upcat. You just climb onto a railing of something nearby and perch.
As long as I don't get the death glare from Godmother at the use of her.
Sitting on the railing seems like it is a far lesser sin than the amount of, swearing, gambling, and potential fighting that's going to come from other quarters of the room. And you sit here after, a little bit, because it's busy. This is the flood of everybody just arriving, which is also kind of the perfect time to blend in because everybody's just here. The waitress, whose name you heard was Justine, comes back over with 4 of these sandwiches. They are something horribly greasy, like some greasy piece of bread that's been smeared with something, and then has sort of, like a boil grilled something, unsure. Fish preparation.
It's fish.
Slapped on it. It is
Oh,
fish.
it's fish.
It's fish.
This is poor men.
Oh man, you guys aren't even in my Frostbitten game where that's the running joke, is that the only thing to eat is trout. But yes, fish sandwiches and ales. all of these are stock ales. You can see that some folks, like you can watch as Justine, like for some folks, like dips the tankard in water and pours out about half of it and then taps it. But there are also bottles of clear liquor, which when you get the occasional whiff of, just smells like paint cleaner. Like it's some sort of aquavit. It is strong and bad. I would like you to make me a physique check.
Okay. Just straight physique.
Yeah, I think it's just.
Yeah.
I think it's just a straight physique check. This is the kind of the equivalent of a con check.
Yeah.
To see how you do when all this food shows up. You feel very sick to your stomach.
Okay.
You do remember though that you have some peppermints in your pocket from like a week ago at the asylum. They might be a little linty. I'm sorry. The true horror of this game.
Take out a peppermint, unwrap it from the wax paper, put it in my mouth.
You okay?
Fine.
Justine drops all of these things off and kind of gives you a quick look around. If you need anything else, just holler. It might take a minute to get a hold of me. You can see it's awfully busy tonight.
When does it calm down?
Depends. If today was a good day, they might go for a while. If it was a bad day, then they might trickle out early, or they might start fighting. It's really hard to say.
I think
Fair winds and fair friends and something, some old adage, I think.
I think maybe catching her before the rush tomorrow may be the best time to talk to her.
Maybe. Maybe try to talk to some fishermen tonight.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're not looking okay.
I'm fine.
You are actually bad at lying. I thought you were just being polite.
If you need anything, I might have something to soothe your stomach a bit.
I'm okay.
I look in my bag. I have a doctor's bag. Should I roll medicine to see if I have anything to help her feel better?
If you're just looking for like a general like,
Just like
looks queasy,
sodium
yeah, he looks
bicarbonate or
queasy, and you want,
something?
yeah, I'm gonna say that's sort of a stock thing that you would have. You could just have that.
Yeah,
one.
I pull out a small glass
Yeah.
jar, some chalky white pills, and I just like leave them in front of you, and I don't say anything, nor do I look expectantly. I just go about like.
What kind of medicine is this?
I think he's pretty good at it.
Rolling is happening.
Yeah.
She's rolling.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say
No,
maybe
please go
you
ahead.
want to switch out your sandwich for just some plain bread.
I will be fine. Soren is gonna get up and walk outside.
Sure.
And just kind of keep an eye out on how people are treating Father Udgen as they come in.
Cool. Yeah, you get a breath of fresher air.
Smells like fish.
Still smells like fish, but you know, at least it's cooler, especially as the sun is setting, and you get that breeze blowing in off the ocean. A little bit of sea spray to add some salt to the fish and oil smells that are permeating everything. And you keep an eye on Father Udgren. The rest of you inside, you are able to kind of look around. You got a bunch of. You are shocked at how drunk so many of these sailors already seem to be. They got an early start.
I think after that folk tale, I think in the book, I read about the sea serpent specifically and want to find some crusty, less drunk old sea dog who might have stories or so, and ask if any boats have gone missing lately.
Sure. Go ahead and give me Let me see. Let's do some rolling. Let's do some skill tests.
Ooh.
We've done a lot of narrative, which is the way this game is designed. But this feels like now stakes are up. We should do some rolling. So you're gonna try to talk to some folks. Why don't you give me a manipulation roll to see if you can convince anyone to talk to you?
I know I'm not good at that, so I'm going to pass this off to
You're gonna try to persuade someone else to
Signe.
come.
I'm gonna ask Signe to
Are
ask
you
someone.
willing to go talk to someone?
I had actually had in mind that I was going to pull the innocent kid. Oh, what you playing, mister?
Oh, okay.
And go see about joining some of the gambling tables where then, and with his direction, I may aim at one that has like a crusty old sailor man.
If you're willing to join in like a dice game or a card game, that is going to make it a lot easier to try to get someone to talk to you because you're not just asking weird questions. You're able to sort of do it in the guise of like actual conversation. So when we get to that, hold that, don't roll it yet, but we will have you do a manipulation roll. What do you want to do while you're in here?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab an ale and just kind of go to a guy who's looking like he's not having the best day.
Okay.
And can't afford the next glass, and bring him that ale and just be like, "Hey, so but what's your story? What's your
going on?
deal?"
Okay, great. So you're also going to do a manipulation roll when we get to that. You're outside. I'm going to have you. Do you have something specific you want to do?
Vigilance, if I can.
Yeah,
I
you can-
want to just keep an eye out for how people are treating Utgen, and then anything that I can
Yeah,
see.
you can do a vigilance, and we'll see if that comes up with anything. And if you're kind of
Can I
sending
help
them,
in some way?
you can help, which would add a die to. You can help either of them, which would add a die to their pool. I'm gonna give you a bonus die to your pool anyway because you're joining in the gambling.
Then I'll help that advantage and help.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Okay,
Signe.
cool. I need to double check this. I believe the maximum pool you can have at any time is 7.
Oh, okay. I get 7 for with my empathy and manipulation.
Jesus,
Just
I should double check that then. I read something at one point that was like a max point, and I was like, oh, there is a maximum.
Is it on our quick start, maybe?
I wish I could remember where I read it. I read so many things earlier.
you've been
Is it on-
cramming.
Is it on your DM screen?
Wish I could read
that
it.
would be great. It is not on my DM. The maximum pool, unfortunately, is not on my DM screen.
Something that would be helpful.
Right.
Come on, game designers. Get it
There is.
together.
Do not shade the game designers
No,
on this one.
no.
This is actually one of the most helpful DM
Oh,
screens
really?
I've ever had.
Oh, cool.
As far as what is laid out and how it is laid out. This is literally just, I have read so many of these things
Sure.
I don't remember. And the fact that we got this deep into the game before I had
Before
to
having
be
to
a
look something up,
vamp so I
almost
can look
the end of the
things
night.
up.
That's impressive.
Well, I also didn't make you roll any dice beforehand.
Well.
So, you know.
I mean, that is just how we roll with these sorts of games.
I think Victor's. Victor. Victor.
You are Vincent on the thing. I don't. So I need to
really?
change that. I might have typoed.
Oh,
that.
no worries. I
know
mean, either or. Dane's middle name is Vincent.
You keep giving
I
me your
have
full
Victor.
government name. I also have Victor.
Yeah, I also have Victor.
I either copied and pasted it wrong from something, or we changed it and I didn't remember. That's on me, friends. We'll just say Vincent in his middle name.
Yeah, there we go.
Victor
like in
Vincent
real life.
Coriander.
Yeah. So I think I'm like keeping an eye out to see if there are any potential or there are people who need medical help because that's my thing. Is I'm trying to help people. Not mechanically or anything, but that's like how I'm spending my time while you guys are doing active
Are you
things.
helping Signe cheat at cards?
It depends on which game you're playing, but like,
Oh, I'm over at the dice.
yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how much I can.
Or wherever the crusty old sailor is. That feels like more of a like roll them bones kind of.
Can't find it. Don't know where it came from. So we're gonna say there is no limit. We can correct it next week if I'm wrong. So I am either gonna let you assist and add a bonus die to someone's pool, or I'm gonna let you make an observation roll
Oh,
of your own.
if you
since
already
you're kind
have
of sitting
7,
back.
like
I have 7 base, and then I'm going to get an extra.
And then you got a bonus for joining the
gambling.
I'll observe then.
I am using almost all the d6s that I have in this set.
Yeah.
Great. I'm also gonna give you a bonus die for buying a drink. You guys are putting a little extra into this, so I'm gonna give you something back.
Is it time?
Yeah, make your roll.
3 3s.
And what I'm looking for is how many 6s you got.
1.
0, 1, 1, 2. Great. Okay.
I rolled 4 3s.
That's adorable.
Thank you. Thank you.
What you observe is that it's a good thing you're adapted as much as you are to this kind of stuff, because you'd be having a panic attack otherwise. There is so much going on here.
Well, I think that's also why
terrible.
I'm focusing on like work.
Yes, no, and so you were looking around. You kind of just start diagnosing people. You're like,
Fair enough.
But in that way of like you are trying to keep your attention on something because you are going to get overwhelmed otherwise.
Yeah. Great.
And you start looking. You're noticing like that guy has a little bit of a limp. That guy seems like maybe he's got a tooth that's bothering him. Just these little things.
Cataracts,
where you're like, maybe,
cataracts.
scurvy, cataracts, scurvy. These things where it's like you're not sure how much you're going to be able to help while you're also investigating this, but like making some mental notes for later.
And of course, I think of the Matrix where Cypher's like blonde, brunette, redhead.
Yeah.
In the code,
Yeah. Richard, you find a very bummed out looking guy who's kind of sitting a little bit on his own. You saddle up to him with a drink and just start striking up conversation.
Totally not hitting on him.
I mean, you can if you want.
Depends on where it goes.
And he will tell you, he will start filling you in on some stuff that kind of confirms and expands on what you've already been told, which is that he says the last several months have been amazing fishing. Like, the fish have been bountiful, they've been plentiful, everything's been going great. And then in like the last couple of weeks, it's gotten really sketchy. There have been some days where there's only been like half the normal catch, and nobody can quite tell why. There's also been strange winds, and more so than winds, strange currents that seem to be almost like knocking boats a little bit off course. There's a lot of talk that like maybe there's a storm coming, and so the fish are kind of going to seafloor to avoid it. It's very strange, but the older sailors are starting to whisper about the olden days before the herring returned, and there's a little ripple of fear going through the community about what if our luck has run out. What if this is the end? Like, what do we do if the fish go away and don't come back again? So that's what you get. You're gambling over here. And what is your line of questioning? You're going for tell me a story?
Yeah, tell me a story, and trying to guide stories toward any missing ships, any boats that have gone missing recently, without being too obvious about it.
Sure. But yeah, tell me stories of the sea. Tell me what you've heard.
Very much playing up the starry-eyed youth thing.
Or potential greenhorn who wants to get out there.
Starry-eyed youth.
Yeah.
You sorry, I'm double checking some information to make sure I tell you correctly. You get some of the folks going, and as you get a little deeper, are you playing cards or dice?
Dice.
As you get a little deeper, you start getting into liar's dice. You are shockingly good at liar's dice. But also are able to kind of play it off with the like, gee willikers, beginner's luck sort of vibe, so nobody's particularly mad at you. The other thing that I think, just based on your entire character build, that you're probably really good at is looking like you're matching them drink for drink when you're actually not. So you're staying
100%.
a lot more sober than the rest of your table.
Yeah. Like getting a slight bit.
No, I mean, you're drinking.
There's not only so much I can avoid.
You're not drinking. You're just making it look like you're drinking more than you are. And you get some conversations going. Nobody really takes the bait on missing ships. in a way that leads you to believe there aren't any. But when you kind of nudge, kind of like needling that a little, like I heard a story about shipwrecks up in the Gulf of Ablad. I'd have to look at it again. It's in the other book. I heard shipwrecks in this Gulf. Do you have anything like that around here? You do get a couple of derisive snorts from a couple of the sailors, and just like, the only thing goes missing around here is that no good brother of theirs, and points. And you see as he indicates, you scan over and you see two I don't even know how, just round men. Round, ugly, grumpy looking men, who just have these like god-awful smirks on their faces. They're sitting at a corner. They're just kind of leering at everybody from this corner. They're double fisting drinks. They do that absolute like gross like full eye track on Justine every time she walks by, and then when she's not out doing things, they're just like snarl smirking at everyone. And you glance at that, you look at this, and you notice that there is a striking physical resemblance between them and the godmother. And you've got a pretty good suspicion that is
her boys.
Pace and Pete, the other two brothers. And you get some of the folks they do start drawing a little bit about Paul, the third brother who has gone missing. And some people are like, don't you think that's weird? Some people are like, good riddance. Maybe he finally drank himself into a hole and they just put the lid on him. Like theories seem to be abound. There is a point when it starts to peak a little bit in volume, and one of the also slightly less drunk sailors kind of gets their attention and gives them a little bit of a like, hey, indicating to Abela, and they all kind of like catch themselves and realize maybe they shouldn't be making jokes about her missing kid in her establishment.
Did she seem to catch any of that? Does she seem to respond to what is probably a common topic of conversation?
What's your... Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
You with that one success, I will say, like, you're not 100% sure, but you do a couple of times kind of casual glance over, and there does seem to be eyes on that table. Hard to tell if it is because you guys are getting raucous because it's getting later into the evening and the game is going well and the coins are getting scattered, or if it's because she's overheard you. You're out in the courtyard and you're getting your bearings. And you look around. The Father Odgren is either ignored or heckled. There are some folks who will kind of like, spit kind of at the ground as they walk past. It seems a little more just like, and a lot of people just walk by. Nobody's getting physical with him. There's definitely some kind of dirty looks going his way. As you continue looking around, after some time, one of these brothers, you're not sure which one, but one of these brothers does make his way out. Inside, you guys might clock that one of them gets up from this table and just makes his way out. So you see this guy, having seen Godmother Abela, you are able to quickly clock, like, oh, this is probably one of the sons. Again, just like distinct physical resemblance. And as he walks by, it looks like he just kind of like lumbers on out, doesn't really acknowledge anyone or anything. It looks like he is headed to the sort of like privy that's kind of over out on the side. But as he walks by, you notice that tucked into the back of his waistband is something kind of unusual for a fishing village, which is a very nice revolver. And that is where we are going to end tonight's session.
Bum, bum, bum.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
So, thank you everyone for joining us. In order to keep the suspense and horror, I have not been making announcements along the way, but I will give you some announcements that I've been sitting on, which is that you did get another bit from Andrea
Thank you, Andrea.
to the players.
Thank you.
We also had 2 raids. We had a raid from Reflect Games, and we had a raid from Commodore Zed. I did spot those coming in this last half.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for those of you who stuck around. Hopefully next week, once I'm better in the flow, I'll actually be able to do these appropriate kind of like pauses between scenes, if we ever pause between scenes.
No pause.
And I will
All gas, no
announce
breaks.
things. But thank you all so much for stopping by. Thank you for saying hi. Thank you to everybody who stuck around. I have to wake it up. Sorry, it's been sitting too long. It's October. It's spooky season. We've got so many things going on. New episode of the Redacted Reports on Wednesday. GDS is back on Saturday for the penultimate episode. We are back here with the second episode of our Vaesen mystery next Monday. And later in the month on Halloween night, we will have a special spooky one-shot with guest GM Mark, I believe, running some Delta Green. If you are not yet following us here on Quests and Chaos, do the classic like and subscribe and follow us on all the social medias. You should also follow Tabletop Today TV on YouTube and all of their social medias. That is James and Thomas reporting on news, reviews, games, and all the cool things happening in the tabletop world.
Also, I have a podcast.
You have a podcast?
I have a podcast about Dungeons and Dragons spells.
What's it called?
It's called Dispel Magic. You can find it anywhere you get your podcasts, and we're recording new episodes now, so catch up and yeah.
Follow Dane's podcast, Dispel Magic. If you're in the San Francisco Bay Area, we'll post about Emmanuel's upcoming shows. We've got Weird Stock coming up.
Yeah,
It's,
awesome theater.
it's also Ray's show, right? Or is Ray doing a different one?
There are too many things to shout out. I'm
Ray's
only
doing
doing the people at the table. Follow us on socials and Discord, and we will try to shout out all the cool things that all the people here are doing. Because if it's not written down, I can't do it off the cuff. You have to send these in advance, everybody. But if you are a patron, stick around for our After Dark. This is going to be over on YouTube. These are normally, sorry, this is the wrong copy. This will be for patrons only. If you want to become a patron, join our Patreon. It is the best way to support us. And even if you can't join our Patreon, follow us, tell friends about us, leave us sweet, sweet comments, or send me really angry DMs, whatever you want to do. And we will be back next week. Patrons, stick around, and we'll see you shortly for the After Dark. Good night, friends.